This method of polling is not really ideal. I mean, I'm not talking about, it's a bit messy because I did it quickly. But the best way usually to, become aware of something happening, or i.e. an event, is to create an event handler. And I haven't seen many good examples on this on YouTube or whatever, so that's basically why I wanted to make this. So we want to have a situation where if something happens in the DLL, i.e. my timer overflows, then I don't want to ask every time, like, does it happen yet? Has it happened yet? Has it happened yet? No, I just want to be notified immediately that an event happened. Right? So we're going to do that in C#. So we've got a timer 1, and it's going to create this and call timer callback. But we also wanted to create an event. Right? So we're going to have a public event of the type event handler. Right? And we're going to call it timer overflow event. Right? So if I then shut down all the Labview applications to release Labview's hold of the DLL, hit F6, and then I'm going back into project, and we can then go to .NET Palette, register an event callback. I'm going to pass it the description of my timer, and there we go, timer overflow event. Now this actually will not do anything yet, because at no place in the code have I actually done anything yet with it. But I'm going to add it anyway. Right, so of course we have to add the event before we start the timer. So let's see, we have to move things around a bit. Now, don't blink, I'm just going to reorganize a bit. See, magic. Now, I've created the event register callback before the timer starts, of course, because we want to register our overflow event before the timer starts. And immediately we also want to unregister our event callback, right? So I'm just going to unregister the event. There we go. And that will be passed in this reference. There we go. And then, for simplicity, we're just going to create a callback VI. Right. So, okay. The callback VI will be called whenever there is an event. So, to make this a bit more tangible, I'm going to create a global variable. Let's see, where are you? In structures, and then we're going to have a global variable there. Create a constant. In this case, we're going to make it go inside there. I'm going to put in constant, and we're going to say counter, and the counter is 0. File save, and okay, global 2, whatever. Right, so we're going to select a counter, and we're going to make it a write, and we're going to create a constant, say 0, and with globals you always have to be careful with the right order of doing things, right? So I'm going to just put this one in there so it happens at the first thing in the program. Alright, so we're going to copy this counter and go back into our callback function, and we're going to add a counter. I'm going to change this to read, right? And then we're going to add one, add, and then we're going to write to the global again. Now, change to write, file save as the callback vi. All right, let's see. Okay, and because we gave it a parameter, I have to connect this timer flow event to this. I'm not sure why it was disconnected, but it's fixed now. Right, so if we run this, okay, wait a minute. I still have to make my global thingy work. So I'm going to have a structure, case study. Let's do it in here. Have a global variable counter. Change the read. Create indicator counter. Oh, shit. This has to be a flat sequence. Right, so if we run this now for 5, nothing happens because we haven't done anything with the event yet. That's what we're going to do now. So now we do increase number of counts, but we also say timer overflow event this, comma, event args, event args dot empty. We don't really have any event args. There you go. Save, close this, save, F6 to build main, run this, and it's 5. So basically what happened is we gave this function a global variable, it fired 5 events, and at the very end the counter says 5. It's not very exciting, but callback functions are something that we will maybe discuss in the future. I don't want to make this less significant, but this event callback function is quite powerful because you don't have to have this stuff, especially this. If you want to really be aware of your events quickly, then you have to do this a lot of times, but it takes a lot of power to do this, lots of CPU power. So this is much more friendly for the CPU and for your program.